start taking some deep, full breaths down into the center of the body. Enjoying the sensation of stillness before we get moving. And try and push your abdomen out on your inhalation and draw it in on your exhalation. And it can be helpful to visualize your breath as a particular color. So if you want to choose a color that resonates with you right now, you can visualize this color flooding the body, particularly areas that maybe feel stuck or feel tense or just feel a bit blocked. Picture this colorful light flooding that area, and then as you exhale, release smoky, muddy, tense breath. So you're breathing in fresh, bright, oxygenated air, and you're exhaling, releasing tension. And we'll take a few more breaths in stillness. Great. After your next full exhalation, gently blink open the eyes. We'll do a little neck stretching. So inhaling, lifting one arm up, taking it to the side of the head and just letting the gentle weight of the hand stretch the ear towards the shoulder. And the more you press this shoulder down, the deeper the stretch will become. Nice. Turn to look towards your armpit, feeling the stretch move to the back of the neck. Inhale, let the head float back to center and we'll switch sides. So lifting opposite arm, ear to shoulder, and then again, the more you press the opposite shoulder down, the deeper the stretch will become. Turn to look down at your shoulder. Inhale, release, lift both the arms up, interlock them behind the head, and then just take chin to chest, letting the gentle weight of the hands stretch the back of the neck. Releasing the backs of the hands down onto the knees. Let's roll the head and neck around. Don't have to take it all the way back if that feels a bit too much. And then let's take the head the other direction. Great. Coming back to center, we'll roll onto all fours. I'm just going to adjust camera a little bit. So coming into nice tabletop position. Making sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. And we'll take opposite shoulder to hip, squeezing. So you're contracting through the obliques. So this should feel quite core heavy. Back through center and then to the other side. One more time each side, and you can look towards that hip if you want to take it into the neck as well. Back through center and then second side. Back through center, and we'll drop into cow pose. Arch the back, look up to the ceiling, back bending. Exhale, round, scoop the belly button up and in. Inhale, dropping through cow. Exhale, rounding. Last time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Drop through into cow, and we'll take circles with the hips, head and neck. So you want to scoop the belly button up and then let the head come up as the belly drops down. Drawing nice big circles with the head and the hips. Really great way to loosen the spine. And then the next time you're down, take the circles in the other direction. Creating that mind-body connection. Inhaling as you drop through into cow, and then exhaling as you tuck up into cat. Let's do one more circle. Great, coming back to a neutral spine, tuck the toes under behind you and sit back on your feet. So we're stretching the soles of the feet here, stretching the balls of the feet. This can be I find this very uncomfortable personally, and I like to see it as breaking tension in the soles of the feet. So if we really give our feet some attention and some love, and that sometimes does mean discomfort, it will feel the benefits ripple up through the rest of the body. You can take the backs of your hands to your thighs, and we'll just take 2 deep breaths here. Full inhale. Full exhale. Last one, full inhale. Full exhale. Great, then release the feet and just roll the ankles around a few times, releasing the toes on all fours. Fab, we're slowly going to come into standing, but through a forward fold. So tuck the toes under and rock backwards and forwards in a nice little ball shape. And then step the feet towards the hands, but keep the knees bent. Wrap the hands around the elbows, let the head and neck hang, and take a little sway from side to side, opening into the backs of the hamstrings now. We won't straighten the legs just yet, we'll save that for a little bit later. Keep the knees soft, interlock the hands behind the lower back and press the palms together. And then try and straighten your arms and release the arms away from you. This is a shoulder opener here. Keep the knees nice and soft. We're thinking more about releasing the upper body now. Great, release the hands all the way down to the floor. Tuck the tailbone, bend the knees and roll up the spine until you come all the way into standing. nice and tall. Just get down at your feet. You want to make sure your feet are hip width apart and parallel, so toes pointing forward. You want to engage your thigh muscles. Lift your toes, spread them as wide as you possibly can, and then press them down into the mat. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, and shine the palms of the hands forwards. Slightly tuck the tailbone so you feel this lifting the lower abdomen. Also squeezing and lifting pelvic floor as well. Take one breath here in a still mountain pose. Inhaling, lifting the arms up above the head. I'm going to hold on to opposite wrist and then pull my upper body over to the side. Inhale, center, switch hands. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center, release the hands, and then take a tiny little back bend, lifting the chest towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, and then try and find a nice flat spine. You really want to use your core here. And this time we are going to try and keep the legs straight. If it's feeling too much for the knees, take a micro bend. Otherwise, try and keep the legs straight. We're looking down, arms out like an airplane. Squeeze the abdominal muscles, squeeze. And then folding down as far as you can, trying to keep the legs straight. So we'll stay in this forward fold, aiming with the legs straight now. So now we are working into the hamstrings. And you can decide where you want to have your hands. You can take them by the sides of your feet. You can wrap your fingers around the big toes. Stand back, yeah. And you want to try and lower yourself, lower your torso towards your straightened legs. And we'll breathe here for 3 breaths. Then we're going to try and come up with a flat spine. So inhale, look forwards. Soften the knees, take the hands to the hips, pull your core in, and lift yourself up, all the way up to straight. And we'll take a little standing balance here. So again, feet hip width apart. We'll turn to the side actually. We're going to inhale, lift the right knee into the chest, squeeze it in, hug it in. Hug the left arm around the outside of the right leg and take the right arm behind you into a standing twist. Maybe look towards that backhand if you have the, if you feel like you have the balance today. Back through center, squeeze the knee in, find the core connection. Great, then melt it down, soft, and we'll go to the second side. So this time, weight in the right leg, inhale, lifting the left knee up and in, and then we wrap the right arm round and take the left arm back. Maybe look towards that back arm. Really engage strong through that standing leg. Nice. If you fall out, just gently come back to it and don't worry about falling out. Balance is such a complex mindset. Inhale, come back to center, squeeze the knee in, and then float it down. Inhale, lift the arms, interlock the hands behind the head, and then just squeeze the side of the torso. So you come into a little standing side crunch. Inhale, center, exhale, second side. Inhale, center. We're going to take opposite elbow to knee, little crunch, back down, and then other side, little crunch. And we'll do this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, engage the core, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Release the hands, take them down by the sides, roll the shoulders up, back and down. And as the shoulders come down, take a little bend into the knees. We'll do this a couple of times, trying to draw huge circles with your shoulders, as big as you can. And you can then take the bend in the knees a little deeper, brush the fingers along the floor and take a big circle with the hands. Let's do that again. Bend and brush and come all the way up to stand. Nice. So we're going to do a few like body waves to now turn to the side to really open up the spine. So taking hands behind the, interlocking behind the head, you're going to ripple the spine. So you basically lead with your nose, you come up, look up to the ceiling, and then the chin comes in, and you're doing a wave-like motion with your spine. And this should loosen up the whole spine. When you come back and forwards, you want to tuck the ribs to the hips. So a lot of core work going on here as well. A lot going on. We'll do 2 more of these. Last one. And then come back to neutral, release the hands. Look down at your feet and step them slightly wider than your hips, toes pointing out to the side as we're going to drop down into a yogic squat. So slowly sinking the hips all the way down. I probably angled my camera a little too low there. And sitting in this squat, we'll sit here for a few breaths because it's really fab for opening into the hips. You want to push the elbows into the knees. You want to try and flatten your spine. Great, and then the invitation is to extend the arms forward. See if we can gently round the spine and gently tuck the hips down behind us, and we'll bring our knees in front for some core work, some reverse tabletop and reverse plank. So starting with reverse tabletop, hands behind the hips, knees hip width apart, fingers pointing towards your feet. Inhale, lift your hips high, look towards the ceiling, and we stay here for a few breaths. Engage the core. Exhale, lower down, and then just release the hands, roll the shoulders a few times. Now you can either go back to that reverse tabletop if you want to take reverse plank, if you want to take it up a notch. Fingers point towards the feet, the legs come straight, they squeeze together, toes pointed. Inhale, lift the body into a nice long arc, and we stay here for a few breaths. Exhaling, slowly lowering down. We'll do a twist before we come into Navasana, boat pose. So bend one knee in and straighten the other leg, and then step this foot on the outside of the opposite knee. You really want to pull this knee in towards you and have your spine nice and straight. Take the same hand as the bent knee behind you, lift the opposite arm up, and then turn and brace the back of your arm against the outside of that bent knee. Maybe look behind you. Inhale, uncurl, rise, lift the arms. Before we go to the second side, let's take a forward fold. So extend that leg out, that bent leg out in front of you. Lift, 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 and then exhale, fold towards the legs. Pull your shoulders down. Remember, the motive here is not to just fold as deep as you can without paying attention to your spine. You want to be really thinking, how can I keep my back straight for as long as possible? So keeping that back nice and flat, nice and flat, nice and flat, right up until the very last moment, and then it can round. But only if our shoulders are down, and only if we have connection of the stomach to the thighs first. So this is going to be really helpful for all hamstring flexibility and mobility, all pike stretch, all pole, all aerial dance. We love this long back in our forward folds. Let's take 2 more breaths here in our seated forward fold. Then inhale, slowly rise, and we'll take the twist on the second side. So extending the opposite leg. For me, it's my right leg, but it might be different for you. And stepping the other foot on the outside. Then we take the same hand as the bent leg behind. We lift that opposite arm up, and then we turn towards the bent knee. We're trying to take that outside of the arm on the outside of the bent knee, and maybe looking behind us if that's available. Slowly uncurl, and we'll come into Navasana. So taking the legs together, squeezing the knees together. Classic pose, yoga pose for all core strength. I always start by just holding on behind my knees and hugging my thighs into my torso. So you can see my back. You really want to have nice lifted straight spine here. We take the tiptoes to the floor, and this might be where you want to stay. If you're feeling super strong, we can raise our arms forwards, maybe lift one leg, maybe lift the other leg. I'm kind of leaning on my bed there, that's cheating. And maybe straighten both legs. And pulling the shoulders back and down. We'll stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower the feet. Take the soles of the feet together, but in a wide diamond shape. So away from your hips. Another forward fold variation here. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forehead towards the grooves, the arches of your feet. So that's where the forehead is going. And again, trying to think of your spine being long as it folds forwards. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Gently lifting the torso up, bringing the knees back together. We're going to roll down onto our back. You might just want to shuffle a little bit forwards. But of course, we're going to roll down consciously. We're going to roll down through the core. Extending the arms forwards, tucking the tailbone. Engage and melt the spine down like honey dripping from a spoon. Really soft and slow, no knocks. no bumps, until we're all the way rested down on our backs, and we'll go for some back bending, some bridge, and maybe even wheel pose if we're feeling it today. So for bridge, take your heels towards your pelvis, just so you can tickle your heels with your fingertips. So they're not all the way in, but you can just tickle them. You also just want to check in and have a sense that your feet are parallel and hip width apart. Now, really important, before you lift the hips, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze your abdominals, and then from that engaged position, lift the hips up. Palms can face down, they can face up, or if you're opening the shoulders, you can interlock the hands, roll on top of the shoulders and push the hips higher. Keep the core engaged. And we'll stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Take a moment, release the pelvic floor, release that tuck. So you should notice when you release and you're just relaxed, there's this space underneath your lower back. So your back slightly arches when it's relaxing. That's a natural curve of the lumbar spine. But when we engage, we remove that curve. So before you lift the hips up, what you need to do is dish the pelvis slightly. So again, we'll exhale, dish, inhale, lift. For our second bridge, find your placement with the hands. And even though you're in a back bend, you have this sense of the tailbone tucking under, core engaged at all times. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower on down. Now for the last back bend today, we can either go up into bridge once again, or we can take a wheel pose if you're feeling strong. For our wheel, we take our hands by our ears. If we don't have the strength to lift all the way up in one go, we can inhale to the crown of the head and then continue inhaling. In your wheel, I recommend trying to straighten the legs and take them together and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down, nice and slow. Always leave yourself with enough energy to come down with control. And then we'll take a twist to neutralize. Extend left leg, draw right knee in, hug it in. Take the knee to the nose, squeeze it in. And then melt the upper spine down. Take the right arm away from you, look towards it. And then drop this right knee over to the left, across your body, but keep both shoulders down, and we'll stay here for a nice few breaths. Visualize your midsection being rinsed like a flannel or a sponge. So the whole midsection is getting this beautiful rinse. Inhaling center, I'm going to switch around for the second slide. So this time we take the right leg long, left knee comes in, squeeze it in, knee to nose, find that core connection, and then melt the spine down. This time we're taking the left arm away and then dropping the left knee over to the right, across the body. Press that left shoulder down. Visualize this beautiful rinsing action going through the digestive system, through the nervous system. Inhaling back to center. Plant the feet down on the surface underneath you. We're going to go for a good old-fashioned hamstring stretch here. So we'll start with the right leg. Draw the right knee in. Hold on to the leg somewhere and then extend the right leg. We'll start with this bottom knee bent first of all, and you can decide whether you want to flex or point the foot. It just kind of changes where the stretch is at the back of your leg. But I'll leave it up to you to decide, or if you can even go in between the two if that feels nice. Holding on anywhere behind this leg, but just trying to make sure that the leg remains straight. So even if you need to have it pointing up to the ceiling, but you're holding on behind your thigh, it doesn't matter, as long as you've got a nice, strong, engaged, straight leg here. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Really feel your exhalation. And now if you want to take it deeper, lengthen that lower leg down along the floor, coming into a full supine splits pose. Exhaling, release that leg, but don't just take it straight down. Bend the knee into the torso and just hug it in. Maybe sway a little bit from side to side, feeling the nice rebound from the stretch. Fab, and we'll go for the second side. So plant your right foot down. Inhale, draw your left knee in. Exhale, straighten it. Either point or flex the foot. Holding on somewhere behind that leg. And breathe. For flexibility work where you have to be still for long periods of time, I find it really important to focus on the breath as a tool to help you open into your body. So whenever you want to go a little bit deeper, doing it on an exhalation. And also seeing the exhalation as removing the stiffness from the body, letting it go. Letting go of any ideas that you're inflexible, letting go of literally the tension that builds up in the muscles. And then, if you wish, extending that lower leg down along the mat so you come into a full supine splits pose. Exhale, release, hug the knee into the torso, just take a little sway from side to side. And then we'll take happy baby pose. So drawing knees in towards the rib cage. You can either wrap the elbows around the knees or hold on to the outsides of the feet. But the idea is you keep your tailbone down here. So don't let your hips lift up. You want to glue the tailbone down, Lengthen through the spine, and then just see where the knees come to. They don't have to come all the way down. Really keep that tailbone long. Really bring your focus to your exhalation now. On an exhale, take the soles of the feet together and then rest the feet down underneath you, on the surface underneath you. Take one hand to your heart center, one hand to your abdomen, and just allow gravity to do work to open into the hips. And try and feel both hands rising and falling with your breath. After your next exhalation, straighten the legs down along your mat. Let your feet come to the slightly wider than your hips, and just let the feet fall out to each side. Take your arms slightly away from your torso, palms shining up. Close your eyes, and I'm going to lead you through some breath work and a final meditation. Having a sensation of the bones becoming heavy and the muscles softening away from the bone. We're actually going to start with a counted breath today. So we'll inhale through the nose for the count of 4, hold the breath for the count of 5, and then exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. And if you want to add an extra little bit of fire to this breathing practice, as you hold the breath, you can also squeeze the core and the pelvic floor as well, and then release it as you exhale through the mouth. So when you're ready, exhale all the air out of your lungs. And then we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last round. Inhale nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now just allow the breath to settle into its natural rhythm. You can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can just breathe through your nose. It's really up to you, whatever feels comfortable. Now we'll guide you through a body scan meditation. Bringing softness and awareness to all points in the body. Have a sense of your bones becoming heavy and your muscles softening away from the bone. I want you to visualize a glowing golden ball of light that is hovering underneath your feet. And you can feel the warmth of this ball of light. You can feel the warmth on the soles of your feet. And this light is a healing light. It's a gentle, loving light. That sole purpose is to nourish and regenerate your body. With your next inhalation, I want you to visualize this golden ball of light penetrating the soles of the feet and flooding the feet, so you feel all the muscles in the feet relax as this ball of light enters into your body. The golden light then reaches up into your ankles and you feel your ankle joints soften and release. The light moves up into your calves. Softening and releasing everything that it touches. The light moves then up into the kneecaps and you feel the knee joints bathed in this golden glowing light. And then next the light moves up into the thigh muscles and the thigh bones. Golden light pours into the bowl of your pelvis and you feel your pelvic floor released. And it pours into your lower abdomen and you feel any tension in your abdomen just soften. The light then moves up into your solar plexus, so the location of your diaphragm. And then up into the rib cage, flooding your heart.
Did you get a text message?
My phone's on airplane mode, so I'm just switching it on now.
She's just said her internet's cut out. I thought we was laying there for a while.
It was so relaxing though.
I know. She said,
thinking, God, I've not been so relaxed in ages.
She said she's starting the meeting again, so I don't know if we need to log out. What do you reckon?
Last time this happened, she came back on, didn't she, Rochelle?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did. So we can just stay here, I think.
That was really relaxing.
How are you finding having the poll at your house, Sarah?
Yeah, it's fine actually. Because I don't tend to sit in my front room that much. I normally like watch TV and stuff in my bedroom because my washing machine's in here. So yeah, I've had 3 classes this week, like 1-to-1s. So I could feel myself progressing, which is good. So
that's
how long have you two been doing it for?
Pole since I don't know really, but yoga since I did a couple of silks classes before lockdown, and then I've just been doing this ever since lockdown. So
How about you? How long have you been doing pole for?
I started, like, I first started about 5 years ago, but I had like a year off 2 years ago, so I only got back into it last year, I think, or the year before. I don't remember, but yeah. Have you done it before?
No, I've never danced before. I've never done pole before. I used to do yoga a lot, but I didn't do any exercise for like 4 years. And then at the beginning of the year, I started getting back into yoga, and then I've always wanted to do pole. So I thought, give it a go.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Like my whole body is like covered in bruises, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's the bruises and the aches that you get the morning after.
I know, I'm really loving it. I can't wait to get into the studio now.
Yeah, I miss it so much.
It seems like a really nice group of ladies as well. Like I was saying to Becky before, a lot of women aren't really. I've experienced a lot of not very nice women, if that makes sense. Most women are bitches. And this group just seems very empowering, maybe.
yeah, when I first started, I think I've probably been going to Becky for about 2 years now. It doesn't feel that long, I guess, but because of lockdown. But my big thing about putting me off going to pole was I thought it was going to be really judgmental, like so much skin on show. And so I thought, oh God, like there's going to be really confident women there that are going to rip you apart if you're not very confident. But it's not at all. It's the most supportive fitness community I've probably ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to like it progressing and stuff. I've got some hand thing today through the post, you know, the hands. So my hands are really sweating. So I found it difficult to.
God.
Hello.
I'm on my phone now, guys. The it's done for. Oh, I'm so glad. All right, let's close meditation. Let's finish. Where were we? We had a lovely glowing light on our body, bathed in this glowing light. If you want to lie down, we'll finish it off. So, visualizing this golden light shining from the palms of the hands, concentrating in the fingers, beaming out through all the muscles of the fingers. Let your breath be slow and soft. And then visualize the golden light traveling back up through the hands, up through the wrists, up the forearm, all the way up the upper arms. Concentrating back at the chest and reaching up to the throat center, bathing the throat center warm and soft. And then the golden light reaches up through the throat to the lower jaw. You feel all the muscles in the jaw softening and relaxing. The muscles inside the mouth, so the tongue as well is bathed in this golden glow. The muscles of the face, the eye sockets are bathed in this golden light. And finally, the light reaches right up to the crown of the head, beaming out the crown of the head. And just visualize your entire body glowing this powerful golden glow. And I will just leave you for a few moments in silence. And if you want to send this light to any areas of the body that you feel need more attention, so if you're dealing with any injuries, any chronic pain, or just pain or tension in the body, as humans we all have, just send the light to these areas in this moment of silence and visualize it concentrating there and glowing bright, relieving you of the tension. After your next exhalation, start to take some deeper, fuller breaths down into the center of the abdomen. And then gently bringing some movement into your hands and your feet, starting with the fingers and the toes, and then gradually bring it into wrist circles and ankle circles. Maybe also taking your head from side to side. On an inhale, lift your arms up above your head for a full body stretch. Point down into the feet. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Inhaling, drawing your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And rock yourself gently side to side and also backwards and forwards, massaging your lower spine down onto the mat. And then on exhalation, roll onto your preferred side. Make a little rest with your arm underneath your head. And then gently, if you haven't opened your eyes already, gently open them. Slowly letting the light into the eyes. And then we'll bring ourselves up into a seated position to take a last breath together. When you're ready, inhaling, lifting the arms up. Find prayer up above the head. Exhale, bring the prayer to the center of your forehead for your thoughts and your intentions. Bring the prayer to your lips, your words, your actions. And finally, bring the prayer to your heart center for your inner world of feelings, sensations, and emotions. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with me, even through I don't know what's going on. It's suddenly gone really cloudy outside and it looks like there's a storm coming. I know the last time my internet cut out was when we were having those crazy storms. So I think the internet is very much connected to the weather where I'm at. So how do you guys feel?
Lovely.
Good.
I really needed that.
I'm so glad. That's fab. So anyone have any suggestions for next week?
I was doing that recording of your splits flow.
Yeah.
Could we try that maybe, or something similar to that? That was quite fun.
Oh yeah, we can do a whole split. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, let's do a splits focus. Sorry?
It just like if you have the space, because I know you're kind of redoing everything and.
Yeah, no, I'll work it. Hopefully by next week I'm gonna be completely kind of settled with where everything is. But even so, we can definitely do a splits focused class and work around that. I love doing splits focused stuff because I really had to. I couldn't do the splits when I was a kid. I wasn't a gymnast or anything like that. I did a bit of dance, but I wasn't technically trained. It was just a little bits here and there at school. And then I got my splits as an adult, but then I injured my hamstring attachment and lost all my flexibility when I was 21. So I had to completely build from scratch. So I really learned how to teach myself how to get into splits from zero, from literally scar tissue and no flexibility. So I'm always up for doing a splits focused session.
I can't do the splits fully, so that'll be useful.
Fab. Amazing. Well, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Take care, ladies.
See you guys.